Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. This is a clip of Biden after his speech at Valley Forge this past Friday, and it seemed to have a very bizarre conclusion. So take a look.
I understand power. Thank you all, sir. I'm gonna give thank you.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. I don't care, go on and tear me apart.
So after his speech, he seems to leave the podium, freeze up. His wife, Jill, runs up to him, grabs his hand, whispers something in his ear, tries to pull him away and lead him off stage, then which he turns back, leans into the microphone, says, "I understand power," thanks everybody profusely, then tries to wander off again. She grabs his hand, they leave the stage. Very bizarre. Not the most egregious thing Biden's done, but just another example of he is so old. He's so old. He doesn't know what's going on. You can see from his body movements, his posturing. He's just old. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what to do. And this was his first campaign speech for 2024. He's 81 years old. If he gets reelected, he'll be 82 when he enters office. He'll be 86 when he leaves. That is ridiculously old. And I'm not even sure Biden can cognitively make it through this next year. I mean, seriously, this was his first speech, and weird moments, and there's probably plenty more to come. And I think they want to try to hide him like they did before, but they can't blame it on COVID this time. And Trump will be attacking him and wanting to debate him constantly, as would any other Republican candidate if they were chosen. So it's going to be very hard for his campaign to just hide him away, because people want to hear what he has to say about the economy, about the border, about the wars overseas, about inflation. Because since Biden was president, he has to justify his actions. He has to justify his policies. Because in 2020, their campaign could be run on the basis that Trump did a bad job and we'll do better. We don't even have to debate our pros. You just have to look at Trump's cons. Honestly, a solid strategy. Hide Biden away, just attack Trump. But this time, they have to defend the policies they've had for 4 years. They're going to attack Trump as well. They have to, but they have to justify what they've done. They have to make a plan for the future, what they'll do about the problems that the country currently faces. And they'll have to explain how it's not their fault. It's not the administration's fault that these problems are happening. It's somebody else. And so they have to come out and do that. And you have to have Biden do that because he was and would be president. But how can you have a guy come out and explain his policies when he doesn't even know where he is? I mean, it's such a risky gamble. Anytime he goes on stage, that's why you see him so rarely. And there's handlers right there to grab him in case he starts wandering off, because stuff like this happens. Almost inexcusable behavior from Biden, just on the basis that he's so old. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand Trump is old, but comparatively, he's a lot younger. And when you're that old, your cognitive decline is orders of magnitude by each year. It's not a slow descent, it's quick. It's a quick descent into cognitive decline when you're that old. And so do you really think for the next 5 years, this 1 year of campaigning and 4 years of presidency, Biden's going to be able to hold out and make the right decisions? Really? Do you really believe that? Even if you're Democrat, even if you like Democratic policies, even if you hate Trump, do you really think Biden can do the job? Because if Biden can't do the job, someone else will be doing it for him. And we don't know who that person is or group of people, whoever will be pulling the strings behind the scenes. Do you want a country run by a shadow government? That's a valid question to ask, because it's pretty clear Biden's not making these decisions. If he can't even give a proper speech without wandering off, he's probably not making the hard decisions on the hard-hitting issues. It's being deferred to somebody else, unelected officials. And have they done a good job? No, not at all. So think about that as you go to vote. But getting back to the video clip, it's kind of sad. And people have called what they're doing to Biden elder abuse, and it actually might be. The way they trot him out, the way they make him do a job he's not fit to do, They put him in situations he seems uncomfortable in or can embarrass himself in. It's not fair to him or his dignity. Like, he's still a human being. He still has human dignity, even if you don't like him. And the way it almost seems like he's being used as merely a political piece is kind of sad, and it gets sadder with time. Biden should be enjoying time with his kids and grandkids. He should be eating applesauce and taking naps. That's what Biden should be doing, not running for president, not prepping for another 5 years of this. 5 years he almost certainly cannot handle. And I think it's only a matter of time before he does something totally unjustifiable or says something totally unjustifiable. But the problem now is that the Democrats have locked him in as the candidate. They've basically eliminated any challenge to him and shut out any competitors. So, like, this is the guy. This is the guy for the Democrats. And is that really fair to the Democratic Party? Like, the members of the Democratic Party, the citizens, that your representative is this guy who is 81 years old. I don't think it is, because I think your establishment is cheating you out of getting decent candidates, someone who would actually be mentally capable of doing the job. I mean, the only other candidate that even resembles a Democrat that has a chance is Kennedy. And I don't know how many Democrats are thinking of voting for Kennedy. If you're thinking of voting for Kennedy, let me know down in the comments below. And let me know if you were a registered Republican or Democrat. I'm really interested in that, who he's going to pull votes from. And I'm not saying that it's bad that he's pulling votes from people, because Kennedy's got some good talking points, some things I agree with. But I think this is set up to be a very interesting election cycle. I mean, Biden's declining. Trump wants to go on a rampage. Kennedy wants to pull votes away. We still don't know if Trump's going to be cheated out of the Republican primary. He never signed the pledge saying he wouldn't run third party. That's why he hasn't been allowed to go to any of the debates. So we could see a four-way race between Biden, Kennedy, Trump, and DeSantis or Vivek or Haley running as the Republican nominee. So this is set up to be a very interesting election. I hope it's an election that people realize our candidates are too old. Both Biden and Trump are very, very old. And I like Trump more than Biden, but again, he's old. And is he prepped to do 5 years? I think way more so than Biden, but 5 years is a long time when you're that old. I mean, you have to remember, Trump is 77 years old, and he'll be 78 when he's elected. So he'll go until he's 82, which is way better than Biden, because at least Trump will be ending where Biden would be starting, but still old. And I think overall, the main problem with getting these old candidates, what causes that, is the establishment on both sides, how bloated it's gotten, how much they gatekeep good candidates, where the money goes, how they follow these candidates, the donation system, what's allowed, what isn't. All that stuff needs to be looked at. But for now, let's just look at what we have, the options we have, and choose accordingly with what would be best for the country. So let me know who you're planning on voting for down in the comments below. Let me know if your mind has been changed this past couple years based on the policies or behaviors or speeches of Biden and Trump or any other candidate. So I'm really interested to see some of your replies. So thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.